wanted to ask you about next week, if you don't mind. Just the team being off for 5 days. Is that good or is that bad? Or
I'll tell you after.
yeah.
We're going to be off for 3 full days. It's more of the schedule that I'm used to than they're used to, and I've always found it to be a really refreshing, re-energizing period. Doesn't mean you won't be without some, without some kinks. And it's just try to come back from 3 days off and all being scattered around. But I think practice, at least we know how to plan it. This is kind of what I've been doing for the last 13 years with a 2 or 3 day Christmas break.
Have you gotten a sense that the players' bodies have recovered from that November schedule, or will this still help, get
I don't know that your bodies ever fully recover without the right amount of time off during this kind of a season, during a long 82-game season. I think that's why a 3-day break is really, really important if you can find them. And, obviously you get one at the All-Star break, and then to have a chance to have another one, the schedule is what it is, and we're going to use it as an advantage from our standpoint for the long term.
Has that been one of the more challenging things, Brad, for you to get used to the idea of the pace here and rest versus practice? I mean, practice is such a big deal in college.
Yeah, it is. I didn't practice long in college either. So when we go about 45 minutes to an hour here, and we do about 15 minutes of skill and then 20 to 30 minutes of breakdown and maybe 10 to 15 minutes of competitive. But at the end of the day, you can't do much more than that. But you really couldn't in college either. As much longer as this season is, the college season is a long season for those guys too, because they're 18 to 22 and they've got 15 hours of coursework on top of what they're doing. So there's a lot of you have to rest appropriately either way, in my opinion.
Do you change that up at all?
We're gonna. The nice part is about our break is we'll have 3 full days off. When we come back on the 26th, that'll be as hard of a practice as we've had since training camp. So and there's a reason for that, is to get a good workout in 2 days before you play, and then also so that we can continue to scrimmage and allow him to scrimmage.
I realize you're playing today, but what will it be like going to Indiana tomorrow?
Well, we're going tonight, so I don't know. Certainly, I'll know a lot of people in the building, and it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place to be raised, and as much as you look forward to that for the time that we'll get to spend afterwards. If anybody watched them play, I'm not really looking forward to the game.
How long is your ticket? How big is your ticket?
Most of my friends have bought, so it's not very big. I probably have one of the lowest ticket lists in Indiana when you consider, the Sullingers are right from around there, Rondo's from 2 hours away, Courtney Lee's from Indianapolis. A lot of staff members are from that area. So, but to be honest with you, we haven't thought about it a lot because of the way Washington's playing and the fact that we have a game today.
Will you stay in Indianapolis for Christmas?
I'll stay in the Midwest.
So that's working out pretty well that you're going out that way.
My wife is happy.
How does Jordan Crawford match up with John Wall? I know these guys have faced off, in practice when he played there, but how do you think they faced off, in big minutes against each other?
Well, I don't know if they'll match up much, but I know that, obviously they will some. And John is playing at a great level. His outside shot looks great, and he is, if he's not the fastest with the ball from end to end, he's one of the top 2 or 3 in the league. And Jordan's playing at a really good level, and hopefully continues to play well. I think, John, and between John and Beal and those guys they've got now healthy, they've got an outstanding perimeter to complement what's a very, very, very good front line as well now that they're all healthy.
How much have Wall and Beal progressed since you saw them in their days in college?
I didn't watch Wall much. I watched Beal play in high school. I was recruiting one of my players from Butler and went to watch him play against Beal. And kind of a funny long story attached to that I won't bore you with. But Beal had about 50 that night, and I watched Beal play all summer because he played with Roosevelt Jones, who I coached at Butler as well in the summer. So I've seen him play forever and thought he was going to be an NBA player from the first time I saw him.
Did he score the 50 against the guy you were recruiting?
There were a lot of different people on the floor that night. My guys ended up to be one heck of a player. So, even though he's hurt this year, still making a big impact.
Do you need to remind Jordan Crawford that just do what you've been doing and we'll be fine? Don't try to do too much. You know, a game like this.
Yeah, so there are human elements to this game,
Right, yeah.
and you can either approach them in that way, or you can really just focus on team, focusing on controlling what you can control. One of Jordan's greatest strengths is his willingness and his desire to step up in the moment, and I don't want to do anything to limit that. And so one of the things that I talk to him about is, okay, this is what we're looking to do, this is how we're looking to attack, but he needs to be able to pick his spots and choose his spots, and he'll make some mistakes, but that's okay. We'll live with that and we'll ride with that, and hopefully the good ones outweigh the bad ones at the end of the game.
I think the Celtics are missing 4 of their top 5 leading scorers from last year. How do you feel about the way they progressed on offense this year?
Well, we're progressing offensively. When you score 106 points, I feel like we should win the other night. So I didn't think we were as good defensively. But part of that was because we turned the ball over too much. We go through our lulls of turning it over. We need to get better at that. But I think we're utilizing our strengths better than we were at the start of the year. And hey, we're small. When you look out there especially with Bass and Jarrett out there, we're a small team. Even in the perimeter, we're small. So we're going to have to utilize all of our different skill sets to be the best that we can be. And our guys are doing a pretty good job of finding people in spots to be successful.